All right. Hey guys, Brad here at Elliott Wave Made Simple. Thanks for coming by my channel. Check out this video today. We are going to cover crude oil. I want to share with you something that I've learned from my good buddy Armando, who runs a trading club called The Professor Trades. Highly recommend it, especially if you're struggling with any psychology in your trading. What I mean by that is, are you constantly making gains and then giving them back? Are you making some of the same mistakes over and over again? Are are you able to not really define what your mistakes are that you're making? Because I can promise you, methodologies are easy to learn. Technical things are easy to learn. Almost any methodology you can trade successfully, almost any methodology. It's the psychology that is the differentiator between the 98% that just get hammered and killed and the 2% that become consistently profitable traders. Armando has an amazing group, amazing club. Highly recommend you check it out, The Professor Trades. So one of the things I want to share before we dive into the analysis is the idea, and this has helped me greatly. The best trading for me happens in the New York session. It's just a fact. I've gone back, I've looked at my journals, I've looked at the trades, I've looked at the amount of time, because my goal in 2024 was to cut my screen time down dramatically. I have done that, especially on Fridays. Barely trading on Fridays. I like to use OCO in the really early of the morning, catching a trade. So if I'm doing anything Friday mornings, it's usually managing an existing trade that already happened. The other thing is the New York session is the action. So after about 11 a.m. or 11:30, it's just a fact. I'm not going to be staring at the screen all day long like I used to do for the first 3 years. I literally burned out my retinas staring at the screen. So the New York session, especially for crude oil, to me, that's the best session. By then, it's kind of tipped its hand as to what it's going to do. So I start tracking it around 5 a.m., 5:30. Well, really the night before. I'm continuously tracking. But what I want to say is the money that I'm making is between really 7:30, let's say. I'm starting to clock the market around 5:30, rarely entering a trade before 7:30, although it happens. And then I'm usually out by 11:30. I'm done. Definitely not taking late afternoon trades. Thank you, Armando, for getting me straight on that. Anyway, let's dive into the analysis, shall we? All right, so we're going to look at the long time frame. Now that I gave that long talk at the front, I'm going to whiz through these longer time frames. Monthly, it's coming down. You got the top dots. I like it to break the 618. It just looks like it wants to do that. This is a common area for crude on any time frame. So if I were pretending I'm looking at a 5-minute chart, it just sure does look like crude's going to break 74 at the 618. Going over to the weekly, you see a little more detail. There's a 618 right at 74. Is this thing going to make an M pattern and just really murder all the longs and come way down here? I don't know, but that sure would be a good looking M pattern. I'll leave that for you to decide. Here's really where I see something that I didn't think about until late Friday afternoon, but this kind of looks like an Elliott wave triangle for wave 4, in which case you're going to get a wave 5 much lower. Let's look at a little more detail of that, hopping down to the 4-hour. Here's your A, B, C, D, E, which meets the standards. Somebody with more experience can tell me, can a wave 4 triangle, is that typical to break the level of what I have as wave 1? This thing is so janky and overlapping and moving in threes because the whole thing is a diagonal. So I'm going to go with, yeah, that's fine for this wave 4 to break the level of wave 1 in a Elliott wave expanding triangle. If that's the case, this is the ideal target box for a wave 5. And really, it's a wave 5, but it's just a B wave. This whole thing is moving in threes, so I'm counting everything as an ABC, even though this would be an A, B, C of wave 3 going much higher. So maybe with any luck, this zone down here can be sort of the end of this overall whipsaw area, and then we're just going to be whipsawing on our way up. That's really the way I think of it, because crude has just been moving in threes, man, like crazy. So that's really to get below, 73 is kind of the target region. Now you can see it a little more clearly on this lower time frame 1-hour chart. This is the target zone. There's confluence down here. Won't go into that. Just call it 73. But, it has to get through all this mess right here. There's a lot of different potential support in this area. So it's going to need to keep coming. So what I'm looking at Sunday night early into the week is this ABC just wrong? And this is already going to go down and it's not going to get above this zone. That's my first clue. That's my first. If I'm a detective, I'm looking, is it going to get above this level. I kind of drag this zone over because this zone did get rejected earlier over here, what we're calling potentially wave 1, 2, and then now we're on the way for wave 5 to finish up wave 5 much lower, around 73. So either it's not going to get above this box, or there's a chance, if this is an ABC, because it's just been loving the ABCs, if it's A equals C, you're going to come up higher, maybe get as high as 77, 80 or more. Just call it 77 to 80 to 78 on the top side. Wouldn't want to see much above that. What I would love to see is that this gets contained here and just comes down. All right, I'm going to be looking for short scalps. I mean, look at this overall range. Aside from all this whipsaw, the trend is down. That's what I'm thinking. So, and I'm totally willing to be wrong because I've learned that it's going to happen frequently. So you just do the best you can. Parameters. And if I really want to get more particular, don't want to see it if it goes directly higher from here, I don't want to see it get much above 77, 80 to 78 up here. But what I'd love to see is that this potential 1-2 structure for a C wave. That's what I view this as, a potential 1-2 structure for a C wave. What I would love to see is this get wrecked, come down into this zone, get a 1 hour candle close down in this zone below 76.90, but basically this low. Get a 1 hour candle close below here, and then look for a short attempt and scalp to the short side. That's the deal. That's what I'm doing. And at the end of the day, just remember the psychology stuff. If you don't know what I'm talking about, revenge trading, FOMO, losing your plan, going against your plan, not having a plan. These are the things that get you killed. So have a plan, make it, stick to it, figure out what your parameters are based on your method, and then trade accordingly, including not trading at all. That's a perfectly good trade. Ask me how I know these things. All right, thanks for watching. Good luck.